you ever find that you still feel stiff no matter how much stretching you do? Maybe you like stretching, but you just found it so time consuming you never stick with it. Well, if either of those things are true for you, then stick around because today's video solves both problems. I'm going to show you an alternative to stretching that is even more effective at improving your mobility. So today I'm going to first talk about the problem with stretching, then I'm going to explain to you the approach I've got, and then I'm going to show you some great examples for how you can apply it at home. So I actually like stretching, but there's no getting around the fact that staying in one position for a long period of time, especially when it's uncomfortable, can kind of get old pretty quickly. But the biggest problem with stretching is that it improves your flexibility, but it doesn't improve anything else. When we improve our flexibility, but we don't improve our control at the same time, we put ourselves at risk of some pretty serious problems. Look, consider this. So I've drawn a really bad graph here where you've got flexibility here and control here. Most people have a pretty equal amount of both. So they're equally flexible as they are controlled over that movement. But if you were to suddenly increase your flexibility like this, you leave a big gap here where you don't have the control over that movement. Now, this gap here represents the place where you're going to get injured. So if you've unlocked new levels of flexibility, you bend and twist in those ranges, but you've got no control over that zone, bang, that's when an injury can occur. Here's another way to think about it. Imagine if someone took your car and put a Formula One engine inside it. Yes, it would go faster, but the chassis would be under huge strain. This is exactly the same sort of thing that happens when we improve our flexibility without also gaining control. So we want to gain flexibility and control at the same time. And thankfully, there's a better way than stretching to do that. So I'm going to show you exactly what to do. The tip I've got for you is to practice slow, lengthening contractions with a pause at the bottom. Now, research shows that doing exercise like this not only increases your flexibility, but it gets you stronger as well. So not only are you getting more flexible, you're also dramatically reducing your injury risk at the same time. So I'm going to show you some great examples of how to do this at home. But before I do, not all of these exercises are going to be suitable for everyone watching. So do get checked out before you try them. And if they cause you any pain, just avoid them. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is the Romanian deadlift. And this is a fantastic exercise for improving the flexibility and strength of your hamstrings that live at the back of the leg. Now for this, if you're just getting started, you could use a broom handle like I've got, or if you're a bit more advanced, you can either use some dumbbells or a barbell, which is like this, but with weights on either end. As we get a little bit more advanced and you start to add weight, you can really make these exercises work better and better with time. So here's how it looks. You're going to take your dumbbells or your barbell and you're going to rest them on the front of your thighs like this. First thing you're going to do is just take a slight bend in your knees, and then you're going to keep that bar in contact with your legs as you bend forward, keeping your back straight, stick your bottom out and slide the bar down the front of your legs. Now, if you look at my back, it's completely straight. I'm not rounding my spine. I'm keeping a nice straight back throughout this movement. If I'm doing this correctly, the thing that stops me is a stretch in my hamstrings. I can't go any further without rounding my spine or bending my knees. It's just not possible because my hamstrings won't let me. So once you feel that stretch, you're going to hold it here just for a couple of seconds, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and then bring the movement back into reverse. And coming back up, you can go a bit quicker than when we went down. So we're going to go down again, and it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds slide down, feel those muscles lengthen, and then 1, 2, back up. Now to do this exercise, you're going to do somewhere in the region of maybe 10 to 20 repetitions in a row. If you can do more than 20, find something a little bit heavier to hold as you do it. You can do this a couple of times a day if you want more flexibility and strength in your hamstrings, and that's a great start. The next exercise where this technique works super well is the slow calf raise. And this improves the flexibility and the strength of your calf muscle. When you've got more flexibility here, you have less foot and ankle and knee problems. When you've got more strength, you can walk better. So it's such a good exercise for people over 50. So here's what you need. You just need your bottom step and something to hold on to. You're going to stand on it like this. So you've just got the front half of both feet on the step and you've got your heels hanging down. Now the first thing I want you to do is just allow those heels to drop down towards the floor and keep letting them drop until you start to feel a stretch in both calves. Now I can feel a stretch in both calves at this position here. Once I feel it, hold for 2 seconds, 1, 2, and then come up probably 3/4 of the way, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it drop until you get that stretch again. This is really important for this technique. You've got to feel the stretch, otherwise nothing's happening for flexibility. Then you come back up again, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4. And after a few repetitions, something magic happens. You start to notice your heels are dropping further down as they get more flexible. That's a really good thing. It's exactly what we want. Now, for the strength component of this, we have to keep going until it becomes difficult to do anymore. And we also have to have that happen within the range of probably about 10 to 30 repetitions. If you can do more than 30, you're really working on your endurance rather than your strength. So if you can do more than 30, you need to hold a dumbbell to make it harder, or wear a rucksack with some books inside, something heavy on your back, and then keep repeating in that rep range. Again, 3 sets per day, either all in one go or spread out, works super, super well. Let's have a look at the last exercise for improving the flexibility and strength of your shoulder. Okay, so I've got one more exercise to show you, and this is going to replace any stretching you've been doing for your shoulders. And it's going to get your shoulder more flexible and stronger at the same time. So all you need for this exercise is somewhere to lie down. Your bed works just fine. And then the smallest dumbbell you can find. Okay, this is the smallest one we've got in the practice. It's 2 kilograms, but you might want something even lighter. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to lie on your side with the side to be worked on the top, holding the dumbbell. Okay, I'm just going to support my head with my hand. Next thing we're going to do is straighten your arm out in front of you, holding the dumbbell, and just let it drop like this across your body until you feel a bit of a stretch at the back of the shoulder. If I keep my back that way and let my shoulder fall down that way, I can still feel a nice stretch in my shoulder. When we get to that stretch point, we're then going to lift the shoulder up like this, and then slowly, slowly, slowly come all the way down, just as we did before, until we reach that stretch point. Find the stretch point, hold it, 1, 2, and then lift, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way down. It's such a wonderful way to improve the flexibility of the back of the shoulder, a place that can often get quite tight, but it also strengthens your deltoids, your rotator cuff, and even some of the muscles around your shoulder blades as well. So such a powerful exercise. Again, I'd recommend doing somewhere between probably 10 and 20 reps for this. It does work fine if you do less than 10, but that would mean you'd have quite a heavy dumbbell. And for people just getting started, it's better to err on the side of more repetitions with slightly less weight because it's a bit more forgiving. So keep that mobilization going. And then you basically want to get to the end of the set with a bit of a working ache in your arm. You can do that a couple of times on the same day, either space throughout the day or all in one go. Again, you don't have to do this every day. Just do it a couple of times a week. It's going to make a massive difference. Okay, so if you're going to try this and you're going to do exercises like these to replace your stretching, I'd love it if you dropped a comment below and let us know. Then you can come back in a few weeks and tell us all about your results. I can't wait to read about them, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the next video.